Hello, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Sun, Moon, and Rising for December 2025 horoscope. You're going to have a lot going on in December. You're going to be really focused for much of the month on what you want, what you need. You're like an A+ go-getter, and you've got your superpowers intact. But on the other hand, as the month progresses, you begin to focus on your finances, and there's a lot of focus and change coming for you in that area of your life as well. We're going to break this month down bit by bit so that you can go with the flow and time your best life for this month. And we're going to break it down week by week. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Lori Lothian. I'm using the whole sign house system. Fixed stars and minor asteroids are a part of my wheelhouse. If you love astrology and you love to know how to work with it to move into the direction of flow and avoid the pitfalls, so you're going to love my 2026 all signs package, where I have produced and am producing 12 videos, 2 hours plus each, about how to handle 2026 in the most easy, effective, and flowing way for your sign. What I love about the bundle is you can buy it for friends and family at Christmas, and it's on sale up until December 4th for $44 and delivered to your inbox on December 1st. So right, and after December 1st, it's on sale for $55, and after January for the rest of the year of next year is $66. So depending on when you're listening to this video, check my box below. It's my fundraiser for equipment, hiring staff, a scholarship fund for students to study with me, sometimes for people that have readings who can't afford it. I do this yearly fundraiser, and it's amazing. I always count on you guys to help this channel grow with this fundraiser. And you'll be able to buy your individual signs, just your sign, but it's for $33 in December, which is why the package of 12 videos for $44 before December 1st, $55 after, is such a deal. It includes a PDF guidebook with an overview of the year ahead, written by me, not by AI, for what I think everyone needs to focus on. So let's get going and talk about your sign. Oh, and I think by now you'll see a join button if you want to join my channel. For becoming a member on my channel gives you all kinds of perks, including some members only lives with me. So check it out below. All right. I like this month for you guys. This is going to feel good. This is a feel good month. You have a really amazing pile up in Sagittarius of planets this month that really give you a feeling like you're on your A game. You're making decisions. You got things going and you know what you want. So I'm going to show you the sky. We're going to go through the week by week. And we'll be telling you that the second half of the month begins into January, a greater focus by far on your matters connected to your finances. So we'll talk about that too. Like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. That also helps the channel grow. So, hey, Sag, here you are. This is a Sagittarius ascendant, but you can listen as if your sun is in Sag, or as a sun in Sag, as if the moon was in Sag. All of those are good to listen to. And, Sag sun, career and purpose, Sag moon, home and home-based matters, Sag rising, anything about your life as a character in this simulation. So as we begin the month of December, we're going to go week by week. This is December 1 to 7. You'll notice that Jupiter is trining Saturn. Jupiter and Saturn in a trine relationship is reward and opportunity through hard work. Saturn in the 4th house of property, homeland, and real estate is flowing in a beautiful way to Jupiter up in your 8th house. This was active all of the month of November, but there's a big difference. We have Jupiter retrograde and Saturn direct, but in November it was more or less the opposite. Until at least, the 11th of November, Jupiter was direct and Saturn was retrograde until the 26th of November. They kind of just swapped direction. The directional change matters in a way because Jupiter is the lord of your sign. And because he went retrograde November 11th and will be retrograde to early March of next year, things to do with your 7th, 8th house are really going to have a lot of deep revisioning for you. And your 8th house is the money that you don't have by yourself. You are a shareholder in a company. You have investment monies. You have money from tax rebates and insurance payouts, chunks of it. You have money because you share in a spousal separation agreement or a divorce settlement or an inheritance, or just shared money with a business or love partner in marriage. So those really intensely shared assets belong to your 8th house. This is banks, loans, and mortgages too, because you share money with the bank. And, there's something going on here from December 1st to the 5th, where Saturn, now direct after November 26, wants you to move forward regarding property, real estate, land, and home matters, and particularly connected to money from inheritance or money that you share with a significant other. If it's inheritance money, right? If that's what it is, it's from an elder in the family system, right? Not someone young. It could even be inheritance money considerations from somebody connected to, in this case, a sibling older than you. Whatever it is, these kinds of things are on the table, and you want to make those choices. And some of you, it might be a move. It might be a rental property, a leasing your home out, or a relocation or refinancing of a mortgage. But because Jupiter's retrograde, as you're making these decisions, they may not be happening quickly. You need to do some deeper thinking, revisioning. There's got to be lawyers involved. Maybe it'll take a while. So be patient here. But that's something I'm seeing starting to percolate December 1st to the 5th. Persistence pays. Time is your ally. Don't rush. On December 1st to the 3rd, Venus is sextiling Pluto. Pluto is the god of wealth and a house of siblings, and Venus is in your sign benefiting you. So again, is there some wealth from a sibling coming to you for some reason in a shared resource or inheritance manner? Is there something going on where you might have a possibility of an opportunity for a journey, a trip, or travel that could involve romantic love or the ability to meet somebody through travel and start a new romance? You're going to feel like, with Venus in your sign, and she's here, as you can see, at the beginning of the month, right away, she's right here. She would have arrived here probably the last day of November, and she's going to be in your sign, giving you a glow up till the day before Christmas, December 24th, where you feel attractive, charming, likable, persuasive, and people like you. Like, you're just a magnet for people. People want to be around you. You know, you can get what you want. And it's really good for a glow up and wardrobe and hair and all of that, but it's really just a nice vibe. So as Venus is doing this vibe out goodness for you through to December 24th, get a haircut, fix your wardrobe, make your big ask, get the yeses you want from people around you. You basically feel like you've got the world, in your hand or something. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because she does flow to that Pluto story, right? Which is wonderful. So you're quite empowered. So any trips you take, social media, writing projects, local neighborhood events, sibling matters can be quite empowering at this time. On December 4th, a full moon happens in Gemini at 13 degrees. That's your house of long-term committed love and marriage. Now, a full moon is a spotlight, so you can see what's in that marriage house. And with Mercury in the 12th house, if you haven't been unable to see things about your relationship to a long-term partner, if there have been secrets or an inability to scrutinize the real deal or what's going on, you're going to be able to see a lot more clearly. However, a full moon in the 7th house can also be a completion or a fulfillment. And you planted some new seeds there back in February, March, and now you're going to fulfill them. And it could be a completion energy, right? You might be thinking, oh, no, what am I talking about? Is it a full moon? I'm having a moment. Yeah, of course it's a full moon. Yeah. Full moon in Gemini season. What am I saying February and March for? Like, for goodness sakes, Gemini season in June. You planted some seeds there, and now there's a fulfillment energy. I don't even know where my brain went. So you could complete the relationship. If your relationship isn't doing well, there could be decisions to finalize, to close, to release, surrender. And with the South Node in the 10th house of reputation, often that can be, funny enough, people don't know that. It's not just about letting go of a career path. If you're in a long-term love story, it can be letting go of the relationship in the public eye. Hey guys, we're separated. Hey everybody, we're getting divorced. Hey, we are divorced. Or hey, that story is South Node 10th house as well. So in your regard, that could be a story. If you're single, it's not that story. Now, a fulfillment moon for a single Sag wanting a relationship, if you started thinking about, I want a relationship during May, June, then you may be getting into a relationship now. You may begin to fulfill that. So look for the possibility around the time of the moon on December 4th that you might actually be able to, within 2 to 3 weeks later, meet somebody that you're going to want to be with. And if you do, that it could be quite exciting. Watch the sky. Come on. There's the moon. It'll be at 13 degrees right here. With Venus opposite, this is often a possible indication of a new relationship that can start, but only as a fulfillment of something you had already desired, that you've already set in motion, that you've already been thinking about. This is not an affair. This is a new beginning and a fresh start in a committed love relationship, because you got to heal those chironic wounds about sex, love, and romance that you've been dealing with ever since 2019. And I'm sitting with something for you. The fulfillment moon will square Saturn in the North Node in your 4th house. And it could also be a change of home, relocation of home, or situations in the home connected to new beginnings in relationships or severance or endings in relationships of long-term committed love. Look for the moon to show its true stripes within 6 months after, but you'll see evidence in the 2 to 3 weeks after of what it's for. And then we move into Mercury. Mercury is doing a lot between December 5th and 9th. From December 5th to the 7th, Mercury will sextile Jupiter. And from December 7th to the 9th, he will sextile Saturn. It's really one story in 2 iterations. This is Mercury making a water trine. First person he hits up is Jupiter on the 6th. A day or 2 before and after, you feel this kind of beautiful glow regarding separation, divorce, assets, inheritance, money. Somebody could be in a hospital setting with Mercury in the 12th house. There's but it's still a glow. It feels like a golden opportunity. It could be a golden financial opportunity. Chunk of money may come. And in the sense of it all, Mercury rules your marriage house. So this is definitely for those of you going through separation agreements. This could be a story. This positive, you get the dog, I get the sofa, you get the cat, I get the refrigerator. And then Mercury is flowing beautifully to the 4th house. He follows that up. And the 4th house is Saturn, and that's your real estate, and that's your land, and that's what you live on, and that's your private home life. These are moksha houses, good for spiritual awakening, but otherwise good for land, property, and real estate deals. Good for shifting the home, good for refinancing and mortgaging, good for inheritance money that allows for successful transfer of property and wealth from one generation to the next. That's the thing that I see going on here. It's got that vibe, you know. Some of you just might want to make a decision to travel abroad to a far off foreign land or shore. That's because of the North Node in the 4th house and Mercury in the 12th. And the money arises for you to be able to do that, but it's money from your past, money that you liberate. Like maybe you're able to sell a stock or get some money extracted from an investment or some money from somewhere that allows for that travel, that distant shore land, adventure, or even spiritual retreat, like ashrams and stuff like that. Jupiter represents Saturn in the 4th house, which represents an elder up your family line. And again, it could possibly indicate with the Mars conjunct the Sun at the same time, the passing of an elder male in your family system and leading to some financial gain on your side. Could be a grandparent, for goodness sakes, don't worry about it. Now, on December the 8th and 9th, Mars squares Saturn. Mars is like, okay, let's move forward. Saturn says no. So think C block, if you know what I mean. It feels frustrating, but also Mars wants to just make decisions and Saturn wants them to be serious, reasonable, and wise and have lasting value. So on December the 8th, 9th or so, we're in the 2nd week now, right, guys? Yep. Mars will have a conversation with Saturn. And it looks like you're making a decision and it may feel gritty, like sand in your shoe or sand in your eye and a pebble in your shoe. But you have to make the choice. You have to make the decision. It's time. It's time. And it has to do with where you live or who lives with you or what goes on in your home. And that's your crisis point. And you're going to come back to it at the end of the month of December too, but wait till we get there. And this is the first of 2 energies around the same story. Saturn kind of has this thing going on here where he's now in direct motion, right? And you want to move forward on those land, property, home life, real estate matters. It may involve mortgages and banks and loans and separation agreements and spouse stuff, right? But now Mars is pushing for action, pushing for decisions. And this is one of your superpowers. You've got Mars with the big bow and arrow pointing at the way, go this way, hit the target, do the thing. And you're like, okay, I'll do it. Like you're powered up for decision and action. You know you can do it. Now you have to be careful. Mars is in your sign. You could be injured this month. You could, hurt your hips. Sag rules the hips. So be careful with your hips. But nonetheless, this is a good time for those decisions, even if they're hard to make. December 10th, there's a surprise. Why? Mercury will be opposite Uranus. It's kind of surprise 2.0. Mercury was opposite Uranus in this very same way here between 12 and 6, houses 12 and 6, back on December 19th during a new moon and a Cazimi at that. So you're coming back to it yet again from retrograde motion in December and direct motion now. So there's something going, retrograde motion November 19th and direct motion now. Surprise, shock, about debts, pets, rental properties, secrets, backroom deals and negotiations, unexpected developments. Mercury rules your career house, unexpected career surprises. Never know. And maybe possibly, given that Mercury rules the house of the spouse or the long-term committed love partner, and this is the house of karmic relationships and debts between people, there may be a major shift there as well. I certainly can't tell you what it is, but you might see some clues from November 19th and the couple weeks that followed the new moon to kind of say, okay, here I am again. It's the same thing, but it's back and it's going through yet another phase, of the same kind of, not necessarily radical shock, but now health tests. If you're getting health tests on December 19th or in the week or two after, and this is it again, this is a second phase of like the medical test that you got coming through and the results coming for you. And if it surprises you, then don't worry. The 6th house is usually your own self-undoing with the 12th. You could fix the health challenges. Mars is trying to get you in shape by being more active, and Venus wants the same thing for you. On December 13th, 14th, into the 15th, Mars squares Neptune. First he squared Saturn, now he squares Neptune. It's the same piece, right? Hard decisions regarding home, property, and real estate. Neptune is going to be possibly confusing you because he's not retrograde. Retrograde Neptune gives you the fog rolls back, the tide rolls back, but he's direct. So your rose-colored glasses of, delusion and illusion of what you think you want in your homeland, property, and real estate matters is now being squared by Mars, who's very decisive and knows what's best. So again, tie the pieces together, please. Something's going on with property, land, home, and real estate, family, and legacy wealth, maybe inheritances. Starts December 8th, 9th, takes up another turning point USA, turning point energy on December 11th and 12th, right? So there's the same story, but now not only are you realistic and wise and you're making sensible and practical choices, but you're also no longer seeing any delusion because Mars is like the defogger on the windshield when the windshield is fogged up and you can see and know the direction to go without any fog bank of confusion. And with Uranus in the 6th house, it definitely could look like a rental property opportunity or fog banks of confusion around your health vis-a-vis your home or health matters with a pet and clarity and decisions you need to make. Not to make it sad, but sometimes you get a vet test back and it's better that the animal not suffer, if you know what I mean. And that's that kind of sky. It could be here as well. On our 3rd week of the month, so we're moving ourselves into December 16th and 17th. First of all, the 3rd week of the month, the 14th to the 21st, is just plain hard. But it is also powerful because if you want to use that energy for powerful decision-making, action-taking, squares can compel you to do that. And the Sun and Venus are mostly the complicit ones for this. Now, let's talk about this for a minute, right? You've got all this energy in Sagittarius as of December 11th. What's this all about? Well, Venus is here through the whole of the month. And so she makes you attractive, beautiful, charming, and, you get what you want if you really charm offensive. And the Sun is here lighting up you and giving you your yearly, 1 month glow up. And then Mars is helping you make decisions, right? So all of this energy is highly activated. You're in good shape. And Mars has been here. Mars has been here for a while, all through November, right? But then he will only be here till December 15th, and you want him there because he's good for your decisions. So I want you to see what's going to happen here as we move forward to the 16th. We lose Mars, so your decision-making power is in the way you were using it is now less empowered and not as strong, and the Sun begins to square Saturn, and that can look like inertia, something that you're supposed to be doing that you need and want, but you cannot maybe get it going the way you need to. And Venus here, she rules your 4th. She's the exaltation lord of your 4th house of land, home, and real estate. She rules a sibling one older than you. She is connected to your house of debts, real estate, land, sibling one older than you, property, legacy, wealth. There's some themes here. And there's a kind of a tension going on the 15th and the 16th and the 17th. And you might have to go to fight over some money issues with somebody just because we have Mars and fighting spirits over resources in your pocketbook and your money matters. Otherwise, money matters with Mars here will be like Mars will be in your 2nd house, exalted. dealing with your finances, right? That's not too shabby, but he'll be here for a while. You'll have Mars here all the way through till January 23rd. And so if you're not fighting for resources to do with inheritances, because he's going to oppose Jupiter in January, then you're either becoming a self-starter and independent financially, possibly, or you're expending a lot more money than you want, because Mars rules a house of expenses, your 12th. And a lot of money is going out of your pocket, and you're not comfortable with that. So be careful for that. That's all I can say. You have better power just before the December 15th when Mars is in your sign to make decisions that might short circuit these problems. Sun is squaring Saturn. Is it an old person in your home? Do you need to move them into the old age home? Is it some inheritance disputes? What's going on? That's all I can say. 16th, 17th, but then the 20th and 21st, the Sun squares Neptune. It's two parts of one story. So let's try to tie it into one bow. So the 16th to the 22nd even. Trying to shine light, to be authoritative and leaderful as you make choices to do with that family of origin, money, property, land, real estate, and home. And you might want to buy a home, sell a home. Under this thing, it might be pressure to buy or sell a car as well. With Venus under the beams of the sun, ready to go invisible directly into the sun in January, she's not at her strongest. She's burning up. Well, she's invisible and getting close to burning up in the sun's rays. And there's a problem with that for you. I just want to be aware you're charming, you're beautiful, people love you. And with Mercury in your sign, you're actually, your verbal charm, offensive, your ideas, your ways of communicating and stuff are pretty strong. Mercury's in Sagittarius here as the month began, and he doesn't ever leave, basically. I mean, on January 1st, he goes to Cap. So your ideas and communication skills are 10 out of 10. December 12th, he moved into Sag. Okay. And he's here until the end of the month. With Venus invisible in the sun's beams in your sign, you may not see clearly how to deal with your career profits, a sibling one older. You may not see your friends clearly. You might be confused about what they really offer you. You might be unable to square away your health problem, your debts, or problems with your pet. You don't see the solutions very well. You're not clear about it, right? So those are themes you have to be concerned about. Mercury rules your long-term committed love house, and he's with a Venus invisible. If you're in a long-term committed love relationship, it's not going to like this energy at all. And so I will give you that probably a long-term committed love relationship is under a difficult time frame for you. And this will be true as soon as Mercury enters into your first house on December 12th, all the way through till the end of the month. In fact, it will be true until Venus leaves your first house. And she won't leave your first house until December 24th. So I'm going to give you another timeline. Let's clear it up. December 12th to the 24th is particularly difficult for your significant long-term relationship, should you have one. Don't start a new relationship under this. And Venus squares, invisible Venus squares Saturn. Love is hard. Love presses on. Love endures. Love is a crucible. Whatever. Love is difficult. I told you already, it's not a romance here. This is like, I've got a partner. If you don't have a partner, then it's not that. Then you're just going to say money is hard, connected to property, land, family of origin, and real estate, and a sibling one older. That's all you'll have. If it's in a relationship, then it's that relationship is hard, and it may be struggles in the domestic environment, where you guys are not getting along in your private life, or matters to do with property and real estate and partner and shared assets and spending and money. Okay. Stuff is spending. You might be angry that your partner's spending too much under this as well. Okay. Or difficulties. On December 19th, the new moon at 28 degrees of Sagittarius. And it's going to be happening in your sign. So every year you have a new beginning, fresh start, and you say, thank you. I get to start all over. Reset button, reset your odometer. And in your resetting of your odometer of life, you're going to see invisible Venus is wedged right in there. She's right in there. Okay, so it's more than just for you a new moon. It's a new identity. Sag career, a new career. Sag moon, a new home. Sag rising sign, a new you. With Venus getting herself wedged in here, and it happens to be exact at 28 degrees when it happens on December 19th. Okay, I'm not going to move the chart because I'll lose it. Then you're going to have to reset your buttons on very intense Venusian themes. And those themes that Venus will have you reset: career profits and gains, relationship to a sibling, one older, relationship to friends, social groups, and social circles. She'll have you reset your relationship, if possible, to debt, indebtedness, pets and health matters, and work routines. And she'll have you reset your relationship to your fourth house of homeland, property, and real estate. Those three areas of your life over the 6 months that follow the November moon is in your storybook. Look for evidence that this is true in the 2 to 3 weeks after the lunation. You'll see evidence for these themes emerging as I've suggested. The last week of the month, December 22nd, Venus squares Neptune. Well, we already saw her square Saturn, right? December 2021. Then 22, 23, she squares Neptune. It's the same story. December 21 to 23, Venus is trying to get you to clear your fog of confusion regarding love, romance, and money. Period. Especially in this chart, shared resources with a significant other. What do you mean my significant other spending all this money? Oh my God, you're right. I looked at the credit card statements. What do you mean my significant other takes all of the money in the divorce? Well, you got to look clearly at something here. If you don't have a significant other, then it's just like you're looking clearly at the roots of your childhood and the way it informed you, especially your mother relationship, about what love means and how to be in a love relationship. And you're unwinding some childhood wounds as you're looking more deeply into it, so that you can unbind those wounds and move forward without love always being hard or money always being hard. December 30th, Mercury will square Saturn. Mercury square Saturn is difficult news or information that is going to feel like a bit of a challenge or a block. And conversations, communications can be also difficult at this time. So you're going to see it coming through the sky really tightly here around this time here, December 28th to New Year's Eve. In this kind of condition, you might find yourself having to have a difficult conversation with a significant person in your life, a parent, a family of origin member, a marriage partner. And it's going to be you trying to be precise with your words, where you also have a bow and arrow or a missile aimed at somebody. So be careful. You'll notice that Venus has joined the fray in your second house. This is a money goddess who will join the sun in January and reset your money story. That's going to be a year-long reset button. And Mars will reset your whole finances for the next 2 years. We'll be covering that in January. Please subscribe so you don't miss that. But as we finish up the month and we get to this point where Venus has moved into your second house of money, resources, and earnings, and she moves into that part of your sky, as I mentioned earlier, on December 24th through to the end of the month, she's there, and she's got the sun with her, and she's got Mars with her. There's a huge amount of focus on your dietary habits and healing your body through new food styles, especially with an exalted moon just after Christmas. You'll be cleaning up your food styles to improve your health. You may also, under the sky, get rid of an addiction of any kind, because Mars is the owner of the addiction house with Venus, the pleasures. You may not get rid of it all at once here by any means, but you're beginning a journey towards that. If I was giving advice to any of you, if you have an alcohol problem, for example, then use that dry January concept to get started. This is that sky. And finally, you may have a aggressive speech at this time, Mars exalted, regarding money and love stories, where you're very aggressive in your tone. And this trio is opposite Jupiter, and that's the money you have for banks, loans, mortgages, inheritances, and shared with a partner or spouse. And there's a lot of intensity, and there could be some verbal aggression or fighting that you're going through regarding shared resources with somebody else. And this end of the month, as I said, it's the second half of the month month is kind of suck ass, right? So you're going to have that intensity there, but not to worry, things will get better. At least Saturn is going direct in the fourth house, and anything to do with property, land, and real estate, home and shared resources, you're beginning to figure it all out and get on the move with something you've been needing to do for a long time, All right. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, check out my All Signs bundle sale. By December 1st, you missed the $44 price. By January 1st, you missed the $55 price. And after that, it's $66 forever. For those of you buying for December 1st, remember it's a fundraiser, but it's also reminding you that I'm making that content now in November. It's delivered to your mailbox on December 1st, right? You didn't buy the product. You bought Lori making the product. Okay. It's in the sales page. So I get people email me, where is it? It's being made. All right. Ciao, ciao. Bye, everybody.